Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome to another fun-filled Campfire Tales. This week, it's not just the Eli and Jamie show. We also got Dave back.
Yeah.
So, hey, Dave, how you doing?
Yeah, I realized that you all can't be unsupervised. That's just
What are you talking about? That may have
acceptable.
been one of the greatest Campfire Tales. We talked about some swamp stuff, and then we planned a future podcast. So,
I think you literally talked swamp stuff for 10 minutes.
It was 30. We followed the Campfire Tale structure. 30 minutes on point, 30 minutes wherever they go.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not here to break up the band. I'm just here to promote the band properly. That's all.
Fair enough.
Dad's back. Dad's back. We have to behave.
Fair enough. Well, we'll see, because we're going to talk about some weird stuff. Hey, Dave, can I ask you a question real quick?
You sure can.
Hey, Dave, let's say you decide to hike the Grand Canyon. You like hiking?
I do.
Yeah. Let's say you're walking, through the Grand Canyon, and you stumble upon a, 8-footish, gray, furry looking fella drinking the blood of an animal.
Sure.
With a humongous schlong, and he just turns and looks at you. What's your move? You gonna run? You gonna try to fight him?
I would say that's a fine package you got there, sir. And I would tip my hat and walk away.
That's how you get killed in the desert.
Hey, I complimented him.
Well,
Yeah.
some people can't be complimented.
I have a question for you, Eli.
Yeah.
If you were out in the desert
Uh-huh.
and you knew that there was a sandworm there, but it never showed its head, what would you call that?
I don't
I'd
know
call
what.
it a shahulu.
You know what? Yeah, and also joining us is Jamie. How you doing, Jamie?
Doing all right.
Jamie,
Sorry.
can
Yeah.
I ask you a question?
Sure can.
You're an animal lover. You love all
I am.
animals.
Yeah. Look.
Let's say for some reason you decided you want to start hiking.
Oh God.
And you're like, where I want
Let's
to
just
hike?
say. Yeah.
I've seen Jamie hike.
Yeah.
Very.
You're like, hey, I want to hike in the desert for some reason and look at desert animals.
Yeah.
How would you feel if you came across a 100-pound jackrabbit that was bigger than a dog?
Okay.
Would you try to pet it?
Yes.
Or knowing how vicious rabbits can be?
Yes, the first one.
You're going to go up and try to pet a rabbit?
You do not know me.
You know how vicious jackrabbits are?
You literally asked me that question for a reason. Do you not know what I'm going to try and do?
Well,
this is a theoretical equation, and I gave you my theoretical answer. Right? Is that right? Theoretical?
I'm glad we're
Rhetorical? What's the right?
I don't even know. It scares me what it does. Because I'm glad we're having this episode tonight, because I can tell neither one of you have a healthy fear of the desert and the things in them. And just like last week, as part of Jamie's block, we talked about swamp stuff. This week, because we talked about Feast and they were in the desert, we're going to talk about some stuff in the desert. We're going to talk about some desert cryptids and monsters. So that way you both get a healthy fear of going to the desert. That's all I'm saying. Have either one?
And I don't know about it. I was going to ask you the same thing. I was going to say I have never spent any time in the desert. I've been through the desert in Nevada, but I've never spent any time in an actual desert. I'd love to do that sometime.
I wouldn't. Between the things I've read, how hard it is, some various video games I've played, and how hard desert levels are, and just seeing how miserable John Wick was in it, I've no desire to go. Also, it seems like the desert's another one of those places where literally everything there is designed to kill you.
I know that Jamie would go out in the desert just to find a graboid.
Oh, yeah.
Just to go
a
graboid
chance.
hunting. Yeah.
That's how you get eaten by graboids.
Well, it is what it is. Some of us take
There's
these
worse
chances.
ways to go. Yeah.
Yes, some of us take these chances.
Worse than getting eaten by a giant worm?
Of course. Drowning.
Mm-hmm.
But at least drowning, you're not
Burning
getting
alive.
eaten and turned into bird poop. All right, I'll give you that one.
Wait, why am I turning into bird poop? What?
Or worm poop. Well, technically, if the bird eats the worm, then the worm poop that you are turns into bird poop, then you'd be bird poop. That's some
isn't
logic
that the
for it.
old saying, the early bird gets to become worm poop? Isn't
Yeah,
that the way
that's
that
exactly
old
how
saying?
it goes. That's exactly how it goes. So I got a list of some desert monsters and creatures I figured we'd talk about tonight to give you both a healthy fear of the desert. And since feasts took place in like the desert area of the US, I'm concentrating in the southwest desert regions of the US.
Okay.
So that way, one, you learn a little bit more about the country you call home. And two, gives you another reason to never go to those areas. Sorry for any of you that listen there, but you live around these monsters, so you know.
It's your own fault. Is that what you're saying?
Wow. Yes. Yes. Have either of you been to the Grand Canyon?
No,
Nope.
actually.
Well, you know what? This first monster we're going to talk about is going to give you a reason not to go.
I bet he has a fine wiener.
Well, potentially. I don't know if you two are aware, but it is believed that a troll lives in the Grand Canyon.
Really?
Yeah.
In the Grand Canyon, the thing that people
in the U.S.
thousands
Grand
of people
millions
go
of
see.
people
Yeah,
go see.
million. Yeah.
There in the deep recesses of the Grand Canyon is believed to be a troll that was last seen in 2013.
Oh.
By who?
Woman who was hiking and she came across what she described as an unidentifiable animal, which consisted of an 8-foot tall humanoid that appeared to have darkish gray, bluish skin, covered in gray fur, that was crouched on its knees naked, drinking from a little pool of water that made pig noises. The face was very ugly and full of little bumps, and the eyes were a reddish brown with a giant thick nose, very small lips, and no expression at all in its face. And when it turned and saw this lady, and it took off running, which I don't know what that says about her personality, because the other people that all claim they saw it chased them away. So, but this person was like, "No, I don't want nothing to
I'm
do
not
with her."
messing with her. Yeah, she must have been a fury, to use one of your terms.
Yeah, or
the cult of fury.
Or to your term, maybe he thought it was a Karen. When you maligned the furies. But it was originally seen. A guy was exploring the Great Canyon in like the 30s, and he came across it drinking the blood out of 2 cougars. And then when he saw this fella, he chased him clear out the canyon.
So were these the same ladies that were in the Grand Canyon before?
No, this was like 80 years earlier, in the 1920s. A guy was exploring the Great Canyon.
Oh, these were
recent sighting.
2 different ladies that he was drinking the blood of.
No, he was drinking. Oh, well, I see what you did there. Cougar animals. He was drinking their blood.
Which are animals.
I didn't even know there was cougars in the Grand Canyon.
Oh, there are millions every year.
You son of a bitch. the cat cougars.
They love Pall Malls.
Oh, do they? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought they were more Virginia Slim.
Yeah, that's
animals.
A bygone past. Yeah, they might even vape at this point. Who even knows?
Seems like all the kids are doing it.
Exactly, and that's who you're after. So
that's true. But the striking notice of all this, some of the descriptions of this troll is that he wears no clothes. He's all covered in fur, except for his groin region, where his groin area, which apparently he's packing a lot of heat. Is something that many of folks comment on.
He swings a big stick. Is that what you're saying?
Look, for a troll carrying a club, he don't carry his in his hands. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. God bless you, troll.
Yeah. So what are you doing if you two run into a troll in the Grand Canyon? That's all I'm saying.
Asserting my dominance is what I'm doing.
Listen, is this like one of them fishing stories? I caught a fish, yeah, big. And I dropped it, the troll got it.
Yep. Before I could get a photo of it.
All I'm saying is this should make you think twice for taking one of them donkey rides down the Great Canyon because everybody knows a donkey ain't gonna outrun a troll. That's just
Everybody
common
knows
knowledge.
because they
Common
can't look
knowledge.
up.
Well, no, unlike their cousin, the horse, donkeys can slightly look up. How do you think they climb out of the Grand Canyon, man? They gotta look up. It's not like you know what I mean. Like it's not like it's a straight
What was I
shot
even
stairs.
thinking?
Yeah.
They don't take an elevator. You know what I mean? Donkeys have to look up to get out of the Grand Canyon.
Fair enough.
Yeah. What are you doing, guy? What are you doing? That's all I'm saying. So, are you scared of the troll? I just got to ask. This was something I did with Jamie last week. We kind of ranked them to see. Are you scared of the troll?
Is this like the Great Roman Colosseum? Is this a thumbs up, thumbs down?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, yeah. How's your fear level? Are you afraid to get the Grand Canyon now?
No.
Last time though, you were just trying to find something scarier. Than
I was trying to find something. Yeah. Well, Feast, those creatures were kind of scary. So like this troll, besides just swinging a big rod,
which the monsters in Feast also apparently were doing.
Yeah.
That's true too. Were they the trolls then?
100%. I thought that's why you started with this.
Interesting.
We're going to build this creature, explain its history.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, hey, there's also a friend of yours and mine, someone we've talked about in this podcast many times, who's also been seen around the desert. Bigfoot. Many people have claimed to see him walk around the desert.
In the desert? I thought he was a woodsman.
That's what I thought. I don't know if it's like he's migrating or if he got lost.
Is this like an ancestor of it? Like a different...
But apparently when he gets in the desert, he gets a little weird.
Okay.
Because
then he gets weird.
All the descriptions is that he smells of dead fish, a skunk with bad body odor, and decaying moss. So apparently
this is the skunk ape.
No, that's in the Florida swamp. That is a swamp thing, a swamp stuff.
Which we didn't do.
Which we didn't do because we already talked about skunk ape in a previous episode.
You just described the skunk ape.
If I'm being on, no, because this isn't a swamp, this is the desert, Dave. So it's Bigfoot.
But is he 87 feet tall?
He is not.
No.
But apparently,
Bigfoot.
He does howl like he does when they see him in the woods. Sometimes, but apparently the difference is folks that have claimed to see him in the desert claim that he walks real slow in eerie silence and creepily stares at them while he walks by. So like, perfect. I don't know if he's like he's perverted in the desert or if like maybe he's just really thirsty or maybe he's just mad because he got turned around. He's like, there's no fucking woods here.
Yeah. To that point, you know what you call a Bigfoot that you see in the desert?
What's thirsty. That? Oh my gosh. Just the worst. Just the worst. So, first off, is creepy desert Bigfoot creepier than the troll?
That's all the details about him. Just that some people have seen him out there and he
just walks around,
creeping around.
Yeah.
He's only creeping around because there's no trees to hide behind. He's probably always creeping around. I don't see it.
Well, so wait, are you saying he's always like weird like this? Just like,
yes.
Creepily stare. Oh, wow. Okay.
That's why he likes the treed areas because he gets a lot of judgy looks because he like me has RBF, a severe case of RBF.
Okay.
And people just assume he's up to no good just because the way he looks at him.
Apparently too, like in some Indian indigenous people reservations in the area, they have claimed that he'll like walk between their houses and stare in their window, but just keep walking. Like he doesn't stop and like creeping. He just like slow walks like that alien from the Scene of Signs. It just like kind of stares in the window at him when he walks by and then just keeps going. Even like police chiefs in the reservations have admitted to seeing him just like walking between houses. So maybe I don't know if he's like,
but he's not doing anything. He's just walking between the houses
and being creepy and looking in their windows. Maybe he's like, well, they're made of wood. That's close as I can get to the woods here until I figure out how to get back up to the northwest.
So let me clarify the mental image.
Yes.
If Bigfoot walks between the houses in the middle of the night, he's being creepy.
Correct.
If Eli walks between two strangers' houses in the middle of the night, he's not creepy?
Well, first off, if I have to walk between two houses in the middle of the night, it's for a reason and a purpose. And I'm not looking in your window. I've made that mistake before.
Wow. Seems like there's a bigger story there.
I don't want to talk about it. Okay. Don't want to talk about it. So
How can you not look at a window? Like I was just saying, like complaining about how, I mean, it doesn't apply to me, but there's like apartments obviously on the ground level of this building and they can never open their windows because like I walk my dog right along the street a lot. You know what I mean? Like you're always looking in their windows and like, I can't help it. It's like one of those, you just see something out of the corner of your eye. Like you have to look in, like there's a TV or there's just people walking around. You know what I mean? Like, or that maniac dog that doesn't stop barking at my dogs every time I walk by. He's a menace. But like, you know, I don't know. You have to look in windows. It's just.
I think it may be the fact that you lean in and cup your hands around your eyes.
I don't do that.
I will say this. I have creepily looked out a window, but it was with murderous intent because when I first moved to the old city, I had an apartment on the ground floor and in this neighborhood. And every weekend during the spring and summer, there was this gentleman who had a lute. Are you familiar? Either one of you familiar with what a lute is?
A what?
It's a
musical
lute.
instrument.
It's like a medieval guitar.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And he liked to play Green Day songs on it and sing, but he liked to do it at like 6:30 in the fucking morning on the weekends, right outside my window where the bench was. And I would get woken at the crack of dawn to I'd walk a lonely road, ding, 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 ding. And I would like stand on my bed.
Oh, it wasn't even good Green Day? It was like,
and like I'd stare at the window and I'd like knock on the window and he just keep looting on, you know? I hated him. I hated him so much. Oh, I hated him.
And that's when your first adversary relationship started.
I was like middle of the pack, bro. I've had him for years.
That's true. Ever since your square dancing days.
My list is as long. That's the longest thing you can think of. Apparently a troll wiener. It's super long. Okay. So like I kind of was Bigfoot in that situation, but only I was standing on a bed. I'm not tall, and I wasn't like creepily staring out the window. It was with murderous intent.
Yeah, I'd say the receiver of that murderous intent would see that as fairly creepy, though.
Well, what do you expect when you're outside someone's window at 6:30 in the morning, jamming on modern Green Day on a lute? First off, who even owns
Maybe
a
little appreciation. Do you know how difficult that instrument is to master? Maybe you were the luckiest soul on your block because you had access to a maestro of Green Day lutes.
Not a maestro. Listen, are you too familiar with what bardcore is?
No.
It's basically these medieval bands, and they play modern songs in medieval style. Well, like these lutes and like drums, and like think of music you hear at a Ren fair, but modern songs. Like Eminem's Rap God, but like on medieval tones. I love bardcore. I listen to it all the time. What I don't like is ding 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 ding. I walk a lonely road. Hate them. All right, so it sounds like creepy Bigfoot didn't bite you either. Okay,
he's Bigfoot. You know how we feel about him. We will always stand Bigfoot.
Okay. Well, you know what? How about we go to this? How about we talk about giant jackrabbits, Jamie?
Oh, the ones I'm going to pet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have antlers?
They do not, because they're not jackalopes.
Boring.
These are just straight giant jackrabbits.
Just giant rabbits.
Yeah, because like apparently apparently they have found some prehistoric species of jackrabbits that they estimated weighed 26 pounds that kind of roamed around Europe during the prehistoric age. But some folks in Arizona still to this day claim that they see giant rabbits sometimes in the desert. Some saying that they're bigger than dogs and weigh about 100 pounds, just jumping around the desert. People still claim they see these giant jackrabbits this day.
Are they just pulling Radagast sled?
No, they're not pulling Radagast sled. Apparently, they jump around the deserts.
They jump around.
They jump around, and also apparently some of these towns that have water towers, they like to jump up on top of the water towers and just sit.
Desert folk are whimsical.
And they claim that one was in the area. Wait till you hear this description. Folks in towns will say they know and can confirm that these giant jackrabbits have been in the area because, and I quote, they leave behind giant paw prints and a trail of destroyed carrots, leeks, and onions and turnips because they go on nighttime raids of desert gardens, apparently.
These people watch way too many Looney Tunes.
They're giant jackrabbits, bro. Have you ever seen rabbits fight on like YouTube?
Yeah, boxing.
Brutal. Now, can you imagine a 100-pound rabbit like fighting you? I feel like it'd be like the same as like fighting a kangaroo, right?
I was going to say, it's pretty much the same thing, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I guess they're just giant, short-tailed kangaroos. Only like these ones are kind of jerks because they at night.
So are kangaroos, from what I
guess
understand.
that's true,
Yeah,
too.
kangaroos kind of are.
You ever notice too how kangaroos they walk like bodybuilders?
They're
too?
jacked.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't fight a kangaroo. I feel like kangaroo would jack me up.
I held a baby one last year.
Did they try to fight you?
No, I held
So
it
they-
like a little.
They must have learned to
swaddle.
fight when they get older then.
Yeah, they.
Did you assert your dominance over? Be like, hey, don't you grow up
No,
be an
but
asshole?
we were told.
She did. She
because
spit right in its mouth.
Yeah.
It was disturbing.
because
Slapped it.
we hung out with a bunch of them, like adults. But I forgot. I mean, remind me,
Adult
you can't
kangaroos
walk-
are like
you-
regular adults.
adult kangaroos, but like
Oh, yeah.
when I held the baby, but like there's some. I guess you can't walk up to them maybe from behind. There's like different rules. There's rules when you're like interacting with them because they don't turn your back on them. I don't.
They're
remember,
aggressive,
but,
yeah.
yeah, but like I mean, obviously these were docile ones, but there were still rules even with the ones that like. You know.
Like, don't slap them across the face. They will kill you.
Yeah. Well, that's what you got to do when they're young. You know what I mean? Set a precedent early. I know at the Pittsburgh Zoo, there's like a open garden area, like there's a little path you can walk, and they normally have like loose kangaroos jump around, but they always kind of hang off to the side. And like there's like some baby goats and stuff that'll come up and you pet. And like some people try like call a kangaroo because they all like huddle around this one tree and just like stare like the 1,000-yard, like just waiting for somebody to try them. And like people try to call them over and like it never failed. Every time I've been there, there's always a random zoo employee like came out of nowhere was like, I wouldn't do that. And then just walk by. And I'd be like, well, why wouldn't you do that? And then I watched the videos from kangaroos jack people up. I'm like, oh, I won't mess kangaroo.
Kangaroos are like the baseball jocks of the high school. Like, they don't get the appreciation that the football guys do. They got a big chip on their shoulder. They feel like they always have something to prove.
Yeah.
They're rude to everybody. They're nasty.
Apparently they're on
They have a funky
steroids.
smell. Yeah, they're on. That's who they represent within the petting zoo yard.
Yeah.
The
It's
baseball
crazy
players.
because once again, it proves my point that everything in Australia and the desert aims to kill you. You know what I mean? Even like cute kangaroos, they want to kill you. Even wallabies, they'll give you syphilis. So like, you know what I mean? They should have just kept them kangaroos in Australia. That's all I'm saying.
So who have these jackalopes killed?
Apparently nobody but their gardens.
Just the veggies.
Yeah, like when I was looking, because I was like, well, first off, a lot of the pictures I saw, instead of them just like taking an image of a jackrabbit and just like making it bigger, they all do this like 3D modeling. It looks like the cover of an Animorphs novel, like that shitty, like it's halfway through a mutation or whatever, or an anamorphation, whatever the fuck they called it. And then they sit it next to a regular jackrabbit, and it looks weird. And like everything I saw, everybody's just like, they jump on our water towers and like they leave paw prints everywhere and eat over our carrots and onions and leeks we grow in our desert gardens. It's like,
Well, I just
all
did a quick Google search, and apparently at some point they were domesticated and trained, because I've got several images here of cowboys riding them and herding their cattle with them, which is interesting.
oh, you could ride them.
Apparently,
I feel like that wouldn't be a comfortable ride. You know what I mean?
And
It would be
yelling at
hard on
me
the
for
back.
petting them. Come on.
Well, no, those are kangaroos. Like if you search your dominance when they're young, all right. But like big jackrabbits, like I've watched videos of rabbits fighting. I think they fight worse than kangaroos because they do those like weird like kung fu kicks.
To each their own, okay?
Fair enough. So
don't yuck Jamie's yum.
out of the
Supposed to
three,
go out by getting kicked by a jackrabbit. That's her prerogative.
I'm going.
Fair enough. All right, so let me ask: if so far out of these three, which one would you least like to run into in the desert?
The one swinging lumber.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd
That's
just be
my
awkward,
opinion.
right? Like even if he like just runs away, I'd be like, that's
It's uncomfortable.
That's
It's
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
It's not his fault. We get that. But still, I don't know if it's much of fear as I got to be somewhere kind of situation.
I got you.
just want to be out of the
I
situation.
mean, you think someone give like throw some pants down the Grand Canyon or something, you know?
You think so, yeah.
Okay, put those on, buddy. But maybe he wants to be free. Who are we to judge?
That's right. Exactly. Maybe he's got things figured out that we haven't yet.
Well, I'll tell you what. This next one, we're going back to Arizona. I'm going to butcher the shit out of this name.
Sweet.
There's a way I like to say it because it's funny, but I don't think that's the real pronunciation.
Well, do it anyway.
How I like to pronounce it, it's called an asswang. But I think it's really pronounced aswang.
This is almost like Tittyman back.
It is like titty men. It's like titty mun, Jamie, titty mun. No, this is asswang.
I mean, there's ass blasters and trimmers, so
That's true. This is an asswang.
I like this one even better. I like this one better
Apparently,
than the guy last time.
the asswang has been around since the Apache tribe. They had to deal with asswang. So much so that they believe in Two Guns, Arizona. They believe the creature actually lives in the Apache Death Cave. And they believe it is a shape-shifting vampire creature that somehow traveled from the Philippines and decided to live in the desert in the US. And it's basically it looks sometimes like a giant bat. Sometimes it looks like a bird with bat wings. Sometimes it looks like a person bird with bat wings. It only makes the sound of a rattlesnake. It has razor sharp claws, and its whole deal is to fly around and find pregnant things and suck their unborn fetuses from their stomach and eat them.
wow.
Yeah.
What an ass wing.
If you're in an area where it can't fly, it will shapeshift into a weird looking bat dog.
Bat dog?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So not to be mistaken with the chupacabra, but it into like a bat looking dog, and that it can also flatten its body so it can slip through any crack it finds. And apparently they know when it's time for its feeding, because during calving season with local ranchers and their cows, they still report to this day that it's not uncommon for them to find one or two dead cows because their babies got sucked through their belly.
There's a lot going on in this tale.
Anything pregnant? Like any species? Like it doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
but like cows are apparently easy for to get to in bat form, which it
Humans
prefers.
too? Like humans?
Yeah. There's actually a village in the Philippines that claims that it comes back sometimes. So I don't know if it's like vacationing, or like if it
Maybe
just
it's like
like
the
goes back
Jeepers
forth
Creeper.
between Arizona and Philippines. Like I don't know.
It's the Jeepers Creepers. It shows up every 26, 7 years, something like that.
Yeah, but
Guessing that number.
in 2015, a woman, they found a woman who had many cuts to her, who claimed she was attacked by an asswang.
But she survived.
Yes.
Okay.
Apparently, also sometimes if you go into the caves to look for him, there's no reason for him to look like a bat, which I thought was an odd reasoning because bats live in caves. So, like, why wouldn't you just stay in bat form in the cave? But when it goes in the caves, it likes to shapeshift into basically the things from I'm drawing a blank. That movie about the Descent. They become scrawny, emaciated people with gray mottle skin, white milky eyes, that are cold and motionless, and for some reason, their bodies are covered in sores and boils.
So you're
when they're
telling
in a
me
cave.
that the descent is about ass wangs?
It is about ass wings.
We knew this whole time.
Yeah. And the other thing I found weird is like a couple places I found almost had like sports stat blocks for it, which I thought was weird. But apparently they can run phenomenal speeds up to 30 miles an hour. And they're able to leap heights of around 15 feet, which they can also fly. So I don't.
Who's taking these measurements? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I don't know. It like I don't even know how they saw. Like who was like, oh my god, help me! I'm being attacked by an asshole. And they're like, well, hold on a second. We should measure this stuff so we know what we're
Let's
dealing
get
with.
his vertical. Let's get his vertical real quick.
Hey, can you jump to see if he'll jump too? Yeah, but that's the ass wing.
Well, the most important part of that, or the most interesting to me part of that story, is something we're going to have to circle back on because you just said it and kept going. But what the heck is an Apache death cave?
Apparently,
that sounds equally interesting.
Apparently, it's this cave in the Two Guns, Arizona area that was used. That there was various murders, executions, and fights and stuff.
So it's literally what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's apparently it's a death cave, and apparently
it's
it's
where
like
Apaches would take people to kill them.
And apparently it's a dangerous cave to go into, so like people can die trying to travel it.
Well, it's named properly then.
It is named properly. I will say this: of all like the bases for something to live, the Death Cave is a pretty cool name.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool. Now, the fact that when you go home, you're like, I want to get in my comfortable clothes. You're like, oh, what's your comfortable clothes? I like to turn into scrawny, pale, blind things covered in sores and boils. Oh, okay. But you can fly. You can look like a giant bat and fly with wings. Yeah, I can, but it's really tiring. So sores and boils it is.
You're also called asswang. So
you're also called asswang.
There's give and take in this situation.
So let's just picture this for a minute.
Okay.
And I'll speak to Jamie because I think she might be interested in the story. Let's just think about the idea that in upper Pennsylvania, there might be an ass wing that's just in its comfortable clothes all the time when it's been seen. Because it sounds an awful lot like this ass wing is a squonk when it's hanging out.
Oh, no. Squonks are just crybaby ugly pigs.
I'm sorry. Describe again what you said it is when it's in its casual form.
It is a humanoid, scrawny, white skin, blind thing covered in sores and boils.
Just saying.
It's squawk-esque. I'll give you it. Squawk-like.
Just remembered, Eli, at the horror convention, one of the stands that I actually bought stuff from, but not this, but I did buy stuff from, they did like cutesy pictures of things, and I got like a haunted mansion. I get Disney ones. Figment, my purple.
She wanted all of them.
My cult dragon. I did want like all of them. I had a hard time because then they had horror. But Eli, they did like little prints of like a bunch of different cryptids, really cute. And my sister was going through them. Or was my sister or you did? I don't remember, someone, but just went, oh my God. We were all going through them. I don't know who found it first though, but there was a squonk and I almost bought it, but like I had nowhere to put it. And I was just like, but I have the person's
the most embarrassing
name.
cryptid in the world.
So no, but I have the artist, and also because like it was just, they did like all these cutesy, they had Mothman, they had like all these like, and then there were some cryptids. Actually, I was supposed to take a picture. Now I'll go on the website because we were going to ask you what some of them were because like my sister and I couldn't identify some. Like the pants one, right, Dave? Do you remember that one? There was one with like pants, like really high pants. It was weird. I'll try and find it.
But while we were looking through them, I said, "Holy crap!" and showed Jamie, and it made me angry. But I have to admit to it. She literally had a cryptid donkey lady art piece.
Oh my God, you didn't tell me?
I bought it and burned it. So
you son of a gun. Donkey lady.
But I couldn't believe it that thing is known enough to actually somebody would invest the time to draw.
All I'm saying, if in the next 5 years I'm not invited to Donkey Lady Bridge for a commemorative ceremony for single-handedly fighting for the respect and dignity Donkey Lady deserves, then I have no faith in humanity because I've been fighting this battle alone.
Hey, Eli.
Yeah.
It's your lucky day because I, David Brashears, co-host of the Wicked Wild podcast, invites you to take yourself to San Antonio, Texas, find the bridge, and stand there.
Is it all
You
paid
have
for?
officially been invited.
Is it all paid for?
Sure.
Am I getting a medal? Is there be a ceremony?
No.
Yes, there will be a big ceremony.
Oh,
A marching
man.
band, the whole thing. We're even going to give you a commemorative pickup truck fender to take as your sacrifice with the likeness of your face on it to present to the donkey lady.
Do you think she'll sign it after she?
Oh, she's going to sign
Does
it.
it? Oh man, that's great. I'm just saying, I don't know this artist. I don't know what made them do it, but I'd like to think they heard the
It was you.
respect and awe I have in my voice for Donkey Lady. And they're like, we have to draw it.
I must draw you.
Yeah, I must draw you like one of the French cryptids. Man, that's good stuff right there. So, are you both ranking ass wing as the scariest thing we've talked about so far?
That's the first thing that's been actually generally.
Well, I mean, honestly though, like Dave, you don't really got much to worry about.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, they might mistake my rather prodigious beer belly.
Oh, yeah.
I might have to explain real quick. These are not the droids you're looking for.
Well, he apparently speaks rattlesnake because he sounds like a rattlesnake rattle. So, like, I don't know if you're.
Well, luckily, I'm fluid.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
And I don't think Jamie has to worry because I think it's more likely that she would have a WWE Hell in a Cell cage match with a child.
Before burying one.
Yeah. She might help the ass wing. She's like, yeah, I'll go help you kill some children.
I saw a lady 2 miles down.
Yeah.
She was obnoxious.
Let me take you.
Oh my God, guys.
All right. Well, hey, let's talk about the next one. We're not done with bat-like creatures. There's also the Alatiao.
Bat-like creatures?
Yeah, bat-like creatures.
And cat-like creatures.
The Alatiao, which has been spotted not only just in the desert, sometimes they've been spotted in the rainforest. But they are giant bats with their wingspan being between 10 to 15 feet. Alawatau is nicknamed the king of the bats. And apparently, for some reason, it likes to live in desert caves and volcanic lava tubes right before they erupt. Which thought that was kind of weird.
Living on the edge.
Yeah, but there was one just spotted a couple years ago, just flying around the desert. And apparently it attacks people's pets that they'll just like pick them up and then like fling them in the air. It doesn't eat them. It just like will come down, pick up your pet and just like fucking yeet it across the desert for some reason.
That's it. Sucking a child out of your womb thing. Jamie had zero response.
Yeah,
she is livid now.
Animal punting your animal, whatever you just said, across the
yeeting your pup across.
Yeah. I also was finding like this thing for you at the same time.
I'll be honest. The first time I read that, and I start off the it'll pick up pets. I'm like, oh man, it only eats pets. Like that's kind of sick. And then it was like, and then it just flings them and drops them from high. And I'm like,
yeah, not even eating.
Oh, it doesn't eat them. It just, and then it's like, and it lives in desert caves and volcanic tubes before they erupt. I'm like, well, that seems weird. Like, who wants to live in a volcanic tube right before it erupts?
It just not living there after it erupts.
Well, wouldn't it be better after it erupts? Because then it's like solidified and like not filled with hot magma.
Liquid hot magma.
So okay, let's first off, let's have a bat off. If it's all with Tua and Asswang in a fight, who's winning?
Sounds like Asswang, no?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
He's actually doing stuff. He, she, it is doing stuff. This one is just crippling pets. No thank you.
Yeah, it's just me. It's just terrible.
So, all right. So then if you're ranking all of them, is this the scariest one you've run to? Because it could hurt your pet.
As long as we get to continue to call it Asswang, which is 100% incorrect.
Oh, I know it is. Yeah, I know. But it makes me giggle every time.
That's what we're calling it.
Yeah. Asswang. I'm bringing Asswing back.
You sure are.
I don't know if anybody else
Sure
has ever
are.
referred to it as Asswing, but I'm bringing it back. I'm doing it single-handedly. All right. You know what? Fuck all Tua and his dog dropping, cave living, volcano obsession for some reason. He's like a fucking third grader. Let's talk about something that actually is scary, because in like the early days, or like once YouTube kind of like people start really getting to like putting scary videos on YouTube, this next creature, which once again from Arizona, I don't know what the fuck those people are doing out there.
So what is going on?
Or
in
like
Arizona?
what happened to them lands? Maybe it's just too hot. It's like literally hell on earth. These are demons. Next we're gonna talk about the rake. Have either one of you ever seen the YouTube video for the rake?
No.
Oh, it's a famous YouTube video. I bet you see it. You remember seeing it if you watch it again.
I don't watch
Basically,
YouTube videos.
The rake is a 9-foot tall, emaciated, white skinned, ghoulish looking creature that like crawls on all fours. Its fingers are very long and ends in claws. And it eats human flesh, and it makes these high pitched like screaming noises. He's been sighted in Arizona since the 1800s. And YouTube, like when people it got popular, put like weird like cop dash cam scary videos and like or like things seen on hunting cameras. There's actually a famous one of the rakes like getting caught on a hunting cam, this like thing like walking like up to this like camera.
Oh yeah,
and
I
like
know this image.
Yeah, and it's got
I'm
like the
looking it
big
up now.
glowing eyes.
Oh wait, I do. I think I know the image. I've never seen the video.
Yeah. And apparently like it like in the 1800s, a lot of people who was in charge of like
I like this thing.
digging graves, or like when grave robbing was real big, like people that were hired to like sit in cemeteries all night to make sure no one dug graves. Many people claim seeing it like digging bodies out of graves to eat the bodies. And people still to this day claim to see it in the woods at night, or claim they've been attacked by it. One of the places they think it lives during the day is in the Grand Canyon caverns. And for some reason, the Grand
You really
Canyon,
got a beef with the Grand Canyon. You just
I
don't
do.
like holes.
I don't. And
As a
apparently,
mole, I guess that makes sense.
how dare you? And apparently, the Grand Canyon caverns will let you rent the cavern for one night to see if you can stay all night in the cavern, knowing that this fucking thing could come up and jam one of its long fingers up your butt and eat you.
I have really good news for you. There is a 2018 movie called The Rake.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, they've done a couple movies based on it. They're not very good.
Of course they're not, but
But he kind of looks like a wild slender man without the tentacles and a face.
At least our Tennessee monster that looks like a rake has a fun name.
what's the Tennessee monster?
The White Bluff Screamer.
I mean, this thing,
According to Eli, it's just a big white rake,
yeah, pretty much.
like this guy.
But like one of the last known sightings was a guy was sleeping at night and he heard something messing with his trash cans and moving real hard. And he went outside to look, and he saw the rake like shaking his fucking trash can for some reason. And when he walked outside, it ran off into the woods. So, which is weird. It's weird. It's a weird behavior for something that apparently wants to eat human flesh.
Yeah.
But they're like, well, maybe he only likes to eat dead human flesh. I don't know if he's like trying to scare the guy to death, but like, oh, I bet you if I shake these trash cans hard enough, he'll die.
If you're going to contribute yourself and your name to the legend and lore of a creature, come up with a better freaking story.
Then it was shaking my trash cans.
And then it ran away. Come on, at least put in the effort if you're going to be part of the lore.
But if you look on YouTube, there's still a bunch of videos people either claim are real or obviously they faked. There's like that famous one with the honey cam. Another famous one is there's like these teenagers, they're hanging out in a playground in like a kind of desert area for some fucking reason in the middle of the night. Well, I guess there's probably nothing else to do. And they're all playing and talking and stuff. And then you see something like kind of move in the background, And then this thing like fucking runs up after him and they like go to run away and the camera cuts.
Of course
Did
it
you
does.
did you see this cool like poster thing that's like the legends of national parks and it's like the rake and it says Grand Canyon National Park. I don't know. It's a cool art print.
Yeah, see?
Like,
Why is the rake not just a Wendigo?
Because the Wendigo was already taken.
I mean, the descriptions are very similar. I wonder if this is.
Well, I think the difference is it seems like a lot of it like prefers to eat dead flesh. It seems like, or it's like going to try to kill you to eat you when you're dead, but then you're not really dead that long where you dead flesh.
I was
So,
going to say, how's that different
there's
from a Wendigo?
there's some logic. There's some logic issues. The Wendigo likes like the forest and the cold. The rake likes the hot, the desert. Okay.
Apparently, Bigfoot also.
Yeah.
Can.
A Wendigo ain't fucking around with no trash cans. I know that. And you know, I'm sure if you live in the desert, the rake's probably terrifying, but like you should really read some stuff about Wendigos because like that's a whole different. Yeah, the rake is like the Wendigo's little brother that's just shaking trash cans for some reason.
The teenage Wendigo.
Yeah, he's like the teenage Wendigo, just like give a shit about nothing. Knock over some guy's trash can and run away when he gets caught.
Dad's not going to tell me what to do tonight.
Yeah. But I will say this though, all the YouTube videos, they're pretty scary. Like seeing this thing like spider run.
Anything spider running is creepy. That's the problem. Anything spider running is like
what if one of your dogs was spider running towards you?
No, stop it. Speaking of total tangent, did you ever see that video talking about YouTube videos or whatever of the dog in the spider costume? It's like really old.
Yeah.
Like 15 and they keep releasing him and he's running around. I don't even know what country it is, but it's like not here. I don't think he's like running around with it. But what I was gonna say is in some of these artistic renderings of the rake, he's got hands just like the witch from Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, I saw that.
He looks like her, like he's like the male counterpart to her, but also not
some
a
of
zombie.
Some of the art has him with like Edward Scissorhands too.
Yeah,
he's got weird. He's like some are creepy and then some are just dumb looking, but some are creepy.
I saw like some. I feel like the problem is a lot of them because like you can tell like his eyes glow. He's got like kind of big sockets, but like some of them make him look like a fucking Tim Burton movie. Like they're just too big.
Yeah, they're just
all right.
I kind of like him though.
Yeah, I mean, listen, anything that chases vagrant children off playgrounds in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Okay, in my book.
And he's also just not swinging a big wiener at me as he comes. So
Well, listen, in the last 2 weeks, Jamie, we've only talked about two things swinging wieners and one thing that wanted to tickle your feet and look up your dress. That's it.
What
you missed a really good episode.
America are you? See, this is why we can't have people over.
Listen, it was all Jamie needs to do is carry a cucumber around and they won't attack her.
What do you expect from a movie that gave us a face fucking monster?
That's true.
Fair play.
And I didn't make up these desert
so I can
monsters.
Say that one more time.
Apparently, people in the desert are just obsessed with wieners. That's all I'm knowing. And swamps, apparently. Apparently, the whole world is just obsessed with wieners and like seeing creatures with wieners.
You're just figuring that out? I mean, literally, entire parts of history, all of the art, all of the architecture was penile.
That's true. That's true.
This is the wrong year, guys. We moved from year of the wiener, unfortunately.
We thought we were past it. We're never going to get past it.
But the rake, he's trying to be different. He's like, I'm not about the ween.
He doesn't have a wiener.
I'm about the teen, which sounds creepy too as I say that.
Yep.
But hey, he don't like kids on no playgrounds. You know what I mean? Maybe he's doing a public service. And like he was shaking that guy's trash cans because there was like a raccoon in it or something.
He's just trying to spice things up.
Yeah, he's like, get out of the trash can, raccoon. And then that guy come out and interrupted him. So are we Rake Man? How are we ranking him on the list?
I kind of like him.
I think his day has passed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even though like he was like old timey cowboys were like watching like pull bodies out of graves.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Definitely.
Wow.
I mean, the one image is cool.
Yeah.
But then everything that came after it kind of ruined him.
Yeah,
It's
you
kinda
know what I feel
most
like?
movie series.
I was gonna say, you know, I feel like if you just watch videos of people like running across Rakeman on YouTube, one of the scariest things you've ever seen. If you actually look up stuff about Rakeman, you're like, all right. But it might have been that clown's fault that was like, he was shaking my trash cans and ran away. That guy besmirched his
Ruined
good name.
it. Exactly. That's
It
what I'm
probably
saying.
wasn't even Rakeman. It probably was just a raccoon. You know
Wait,
what I mean?
I'm sorry, when did he
Or
become
a
Rake
meth
Man? I thought he
addict.
was the Rake. Why is he Rake Man now?
Because I like the Rake Man, because like it makes him sound like a superhero, which he deserves. Okay. Because
What if the donkey lady and the rake man meet? Is there love on the horizon?
I don't know. You know,
You think she's too good for him? Is that what you're thinking?
listen, all I say
Because
is
he hates trash cans. She hates cars.
all I'm saying is I think that if Rake Man ran a donkey lady, yes, he'd be enamored by her beauty and grace. But she has a lot going on, and she don't need some guy shaking trash cans. That's all I'm saying.
She don't need no man.
Is
that what you're saying?
I'm just saying she deserves better than apparently the hobo desert cryptid, just shaking trash cans all night. That's all I'm saying. You know?
Fair
Or
enough.
she might be like, hey, Rake Man's like actually really scary, and now she's gonna go kick that guy's trash cans and put little dents in it and ruin them because he lied.
Because he ruined the story.
He did. All right, we know what? Let's go to a well-known cryptid, which I'm sure eventually, because there are some movies based on it that we're gonna have a deep dive episode. But the next desert creature, which it's weird because it's credited for being the desert, but really it's like seen all over the world. But like everybody considers it desert cryptid, so it don't really make sense. The Thunderbird. Are you too familiar with the Thunderbird?
Not as I'm not as a cryptid. Isn't it a car?
Well, actually, it was the Thunderbird car was named after Thunderbird. It's been
really?
Yeah, it's been around. It's something that many indigenous tribes, indigenous people, believed in. In certain areas, they look different. Like especially like some like more forest, like rainforest areas, it's kind of described as like almost like a phoenix, like a giant phoenix, or like a giant eagle.
Oh, maybe I
hawk
have heard
thing.
of this. Have we covered it, or did I learn about this somewhere? I have heard it.
We haven't covered them yet.
Oh, so maybe I learned about it somewhere.
The desert people all believe that it's a giant pterodactyl. It looks like a giant pterodactyl the way they describe it. But this creature was like, some believed it was just this giant fucking bird that like flew around, ate and killed people. Some believe that it brought storms and calamities to area because of its power, like fucking Rodin with Godzilla. So, and even in the desert areas, there's different stories about, you know, what it was, but some say it was a protector. Some say it was like a demon, all this stuff. All I know is that many sites claimed to have found this picture from 1890 where one was killed near Tombstone, which may be the fakest looking picture I've ever seen in my life because it's a bunch of soldiers and shittily CGI'd into it is a fucking dead pterodactyl that really looks like a long piece of shit, if I'm being honest. Like it looks like a long turd. It looks real bad. But there's in the desert, in various various caves in the deserts where there's like indigenous carving and stuff. There's many pictures. Death caves. There's many like drawings of these giant fucking birds impaling people with their beak. So in the desert, they believe it's just there to fuck shit up.
Okay.
And a giant bird pecking you to death.
Is it a video game or something? Why do I don't know. Anyway, sorry. There's something that has it that I have dealt with it before.
So would you be scared of a giant bird or
No.
pterodactyl bird? In the desert, it'd be a pterodactyl, apparently.
No.
You wouldn't be scared of a giant bird pecking you to death?
No.
I mean, I'm not a snake demon. What do I have to worry about?
Well, this one eats people. Are you a person?
Some days, maybe.
And it go and peck you right to death.
What are you considering giant? Like what is, give me some scale to this giant quote unquote bird.
Well, if you look at the ratio of the cave drawings, This thing is probably 6 times bigger than a person without an open wingspan. Some of the pictures, I bet, like some of the pictures I saw, wingspan might be like 20 feet, 30 feet for real big ones.
Well, if it's 6 times a human, it stands 36 feet tall. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And it lives in the desert where there's nothing to hide behind.
Well, apparently they killed the last one, Tombstone, in 1890, Dave.
So if it's 36 feet tall, its wingspan's probably twice that, which would make it
all
what,
the
72 feet wide.
Yeah, all the cave drawings, you see this giant fucking bird and like a little person impaled on its beak, all
I
doing
love
this
that you
motion.
just did that. I'm gonna grab that. Your hands were closed when you did it.
But like apparently like they're the cave drawings, these things are fucking huge. Like I said, it looks like fucking Rodin from like Godzilla. And like they even have like little like dots underneath the person, which I'm only assuming is just blood dripping from the fact that they're getting pecked to fucking death. Which seems like the worst way to go. I've seen Alfred Hitchcock birds, and like I'm sitting here, what's worse? Getting pecked to death by 1,000 birds or being impaled, gorged by one giant fucking bird? You know what I mean?
Neither are great. I'm gonna be honest.
No, especially not this fucking bird that some people believe it brings fucking thunder and storms because of how powerful its wings are fucking flapping. Like, no, thank you. I'm not getting pecked to death in a thunderstorm. That's what I know. So, where are we ranking the Thunderbird?
That's fine.
It's like, are you afraid of nothing?
I told you I like the other thing better, and then I still like Asswang.
Asswang ain't gonna peck you to death. They'll suck you to death.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see an 80-foot wide bird coming from a long way up.
That's true.
There's no element of surprise on this.
Well, yeah, but if you ever seen a video of
being chased by a steamroller, oh no, it's very slowly coming towards.
You say that, but if you ever seen a video of an owl hunting a mouse, they can't get away. I imagine this to be very similar.
Am I the mouse in this situation?
Yeah, you are. But
it's a thunderbird. It's not a silent ninja bird. It's a thunderbird.
That's correct.
It's a loud, obnoxious 80-foot wide bird.
Correct.
I feel like there's a Pokemon like that. What's his name? Zapdos or something. Now I'm making up Pokemon names.
Well, technically, I think it's probably based off that because it's a
right.
It's a
Isn't he like a thunder? Isn't he like a thunder?
Yeah, he does thunder. He's a bird.
Is that his name?
But right? He is not 80 foot wide.
Zapdos.
And he doesn't. I don't ever remember
know how big he is. Maybe
in the Pokemon cartoon watching a giant fucking bird peck somebody to death.
They didn't show that part.
Oh,
you're watching the wrong Pokemon.
Oh, okay. So yeah, neither one of you scared of the Thunderbird, huh?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool, but I'm not scared of it.
I just think you should go watch some bird videos on YouTube of like birds catching prey, and then might change your tune.
I've never understood the whole being afraid of birds thing, and I understand it's a medical condition for some people, and I'm not yucking that yum, and I understand that they are the offspring of dinosaurs. I get that, but I've never looked at birds. My daughter is afraid of chickens, but I've never understood that mentality. Of all of the animals that I legitimately respect and fear, like bears, coyotes, wolves,
birds are not
alligators. Birds are not. I mean,
no. Same.
They weigh ounces.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
People think they're creepy, and it's weird. It's weird to me because they're just like little.
I'm not afraid of birds. Birds don't scare me, except for 2 birds. An 80-foot fucking wide bird scares the shit out of me, and fucking killdeer, because those birds are fucking vicious. Do you have killdeers where either one of you live?
What, killdeer?
Yeah, they're called killdeer.
Mm-hmm.
I have regular deer.
They're these little these little birds.
Oh,
they look like they're small compared to other birds, but they look like a bigger hummingbird. But they get real territorial once they lay an egg, and like they will flock and fucking attack you. And like they always, for some reason, lay eggs on porches in Pennsylvania. And then like you go to come on your porch, just mind your own business, nowhere near these eggs. Next thing you know, you're getting attacked by a bunch of birds.
For fleshing out the image, Jamie, just because I think you'll appreciate this. The bird that Eli's talking about that he's intimidated by, adult weight 3.1 ounces.
You don't understand how fast they move, okay? You couldn't hit one.
That's my whole point, though. It weighs 3 friggin' ounces.
My
with
9 pound
with a razor sharp beak, Dave.
my 9 pound dog eats less than that for dinner, I think.
1 inch in your temple, you're dead, Dave.
You're
1
like
inch in
the
your
wizard
temple.
in Holy Grail talking about the killer rabbit, but it has the pointed fangs.
Listen, and you know what? What happened? That rabbit fucking flew and had demon eyes, just like these birds. Okay,
Wingspan of 18 inches,
because they're fast. Dave.
3 ounces.
It's like hypodermic needles flying really fast. Okay.
Are you
if
afraid
I
of like
fart in its
hummingbirds?
direction, it's
No,
in danger.
I'm not afraid of a hummingbird. Why? Because they're just birds. They're not vicious killers.
Just
They
because it
didn't
has
call-
kill in its name doesn't mean it's a killer.
It wants, if you get near its territory, which it claims whatever the fuck it
Oh
wants,
my God.
it will kill you. Okay.
Jamie,
That's
look
like
at this
kill
bird.
deer.
It is the
I am.
cutest thing on the
I am
planet.
looking
You
it
know
up
what?
right now.
I'll tell you what.
Killdeer bird.
You both.
Oh my God, it's silly looking.
Listen. You both.
Oh, it's striped. I like the
Yeah.
fun of it.
It's got
You know
racing
what?
stripes.
You both come up to Pennsylvania, and we're gonna walk through some
I can't wait to
brush.
see one.
Oh, you said so. Pecks your fucking eyes out.
I'm gonna go pet it.
It won't let you because they'll eat your fucking fingers. It's the Mike Tyson of deer. Okay,
Deer?
or killed birds. It's a powerhouse. It's like dynamite. It's in a little stick, but it'll blow your fucking limbs off. Okay,
It's 3 inches tall.
it's so fast with a razor sharp
You
beak.
can throw a pebble and knock it out of that. thing.
There's
good luck.
nothing you can add to the description
I
of 3
bet
inches
you
tall, 3 ounces that going
That
to
bird
make me
flies
scared.
90 miles an hour. They're a blur when they fly. Okay, you've not seen it. Okay, would you say a scorpion weighs 3 ounces? Are you scared of a scorpion?
No, I'm actually not
No.
scared of a scorpion. I can just walk away from it. Like,
Unless it crawls in your shirt and stings you to death.
This bird is not crawling in my shirt.
What about a black widow spider? You scared of a black widow spider?
I have arachnophobia, so
No.
I'm afraid of every
Oh,
spider.
well, this is basically the spider of birds, Jamie.
Okay.
Okay?
This is hilarious. This could not have been scripted better.
Listen, I'm
Now
just telling
You led us to the. I'm
Listen.
not afraid of anything except this 3 ounce
It's a little
fucking
cute
Listen.
bird. This cute little
anybody
bird.
that's listening, you write it that's in Pennsylvania that know the fear that Pennsylvanians have of the killdeer, rightly so, and you tell them how dangerous these little birds
Yes, please do.
are. You know what? I'm gonna look up something real quick. How many people have died from killdeer?
0.
Killdeer bird.
He had to add bird because he
Exactly,
wasn't getting
yeah.
a result.
The lack of answer is the answer.
It gave me the town of killdeer, and it was like heart attacks. I'm like, well, I didn't want that. I want, let's see here. All right.
It doesn't exist, buddy.
It does exist.
It's 3 ounces.
Uh,
If you shot it out of a cannon, it wouldn't hurt you.
you know what? Everybody's afraid of killdeer. They don't even talk about it on the website. So
Yeah, it's fake news now. Right? It's
it is
because
fake
the
news.
news.
Listen, I bet you at least 25 people a year die from killdeer.
No way in
I'm
hell.
betting. I'm
No.
betting. Because they like diving at them, pecking at
Because
their
they
eyes,
just
they fall off their
swatted away
porch and break their
when it-
neck. And so then they're falsing death certificates because they're like, oh, they fell and broke their neck, not saying because a killdeer attacked them.
I literally looked up just to expand the net.
Yeah.
Killdeer injuries to humans. Nothing.
It's all a conspiracy.
Not a
Okay.
thing.
I guarantee the killdeer are trained by government officials
They control the news
to attack
cycle.
it. They do. Everybody's afraid of killdeer, okay? Everyone. That's seen it. It's lived to tell the tale.
I love this new thing this new button on the table.
I'm just saying, like
The
You-
infamous, horrifying killdeer.
If you all
Please
ever
look
come
it
to
up, audience.
Pennsylvania, if you ever all come to Pennsylvania, I'll show you true fear. Okay.
Look into the devil's eyes.
I'm just saying, if the nuclear apocalypse happens, two things are surviving for sure: cockroaches, killdeer.
When did you first have this phobia of this?
I got
tiny,
attacked
tiny
by
bird?
some.
And you're here to tell the tale. How does that happen?
I was a young.
How did you survive?
Because I ran like hell. I was a young child. I was restating my grandmother's deck, and for some reason she kept the stains under her little deck porch thing. Thought that was weird, but whatever. And I went under there to get the can, another can, and they had their nest down there, and they got pissed off.
They tried to murder you.
I was running all around the yard.
How
Couldn't
old
get in
were
the
you?
house. I don't know, like 6 or 7. But you joke, but there's been other times as I grew, like in hay fields, they'd have like a little nest. You walk into it, next thing you know, you're getting attacked by killdeer again.
It's my new
I'm just
favorite
saying.
Eli story.
I'm just saying.
Trying so hard to find anything on this bird that makes it sound in any
Hold on.
way intimidating. And it's just like
Killdeer
all I'm hearing about is how it's picked on by other predators,
attacking.
and its
Fakes
babies,
its own injuries.
its babies get taken and eaten.
If
And
you,
like,
if you look at YouTube, there's 287,000 videos of people being attacked by killdeers. First off,
And all those people, I'm sure, are fine.
then there's this lying website that says like they'll run from you, but that's not true. I've never seen that.
That's more fake
Wait.
news.
right, I found out how it deals with predators.
Oh,
it's
hey,
just Bane's injury. I
Here's-
go,
Exactly.
here's a web called trainorders.com.
what?
And it says, you all in the Southwest have to worry about rattlesnakes, but here we are in constant watch for killdeer, one of the most vicious little birds, and it almost took out a conductor. Oh, it's about trains. One of my conductors today, I carefully approached it and was able to get a few images before running for my life. And there's pictures of this bird trying to kill people.
Oh my
What
god!
pen name did you use when you wrote that article, Eli?
I did not write that article. I'm not a train conductor. Okay.
There's nothing on Wikipedia about them being dangerous at all.
Anybody can, anybody can edit a post.
Wait.
on Wikipedia.
There's a question. Aggressiveness. Are killdeer, literally, this question is asked, are they the aggressive level, whatever. In fact, the killdeer seems very tolerant of humans.
You know who probably wrote that?
Big killdeer.
Big killdeer or killdeer itself. There's
birds.
there's an article from wildaboututah.org. So it's .org, so you know it's official. That says killdeer, the bird that lives dangerously. It's a dangerous bird.
How many more desert
Literally
things?
read that sentence backwards.
The literal name of the title is Killdeer, the bird that lives dangerously,
It
which
lives
means it's a
dangerously.
dangerous bird.
No, it doesn't. Holy shit.
It right there, okay?
Oh my
I
god.
guarantee
Right
you there's
there.
a t-shirt design coming of a murder killdeer, though.
Because they're murderous, okay? They're like a serial killer of birds.
Anyway,
I'm just saying. And it's hard to see
Tonight
their
has been
nest,
worth it now.
which they do. They hide them, and then if you come near them, they attack you. That's from an organization. So
I can't believe you got it out with your life.
listen,
I mean, I assume you're maimed at least.
listen.
As a
there's-
5-year-old boy dealing
First
with one of
off,
the most dangerous
that
animals
was
on the
my
planet.
first run-in with a killdeer. Okay, there's been others. All right,
oh my god.
I bet you I can sit here and comfortably say I can count the number of times on one hand that I've been attacked by killdeer. It's been more than one, less than 5. But the same thing people say about rattlesnakes. You know what I mean?
I just know that there is a really special Audubon art print heading your way
Listen, you guys listen. You don't joke about killdeer, okay?
because it's a beautiful painting.
They're like the rattlesnakes of Pennsylvania. That's what I'm saying. Which there are rattlesnakes in Pennsylvania.
I was
I'd
going to
rather
say
fight a
aren't
rattlesnake.
rattlesnakes. The
I'd rather
rattlesnakes
fight a
of Pennsylvania.
rattlesnake than a killdeer. I'd rather fight a copperhead than a killdeer. That's another poison snake. Okay. I'd rather fight asswang instead of killdeer.
I
Asswing just
love
wants to
this.
suck on my belly. Killdeer goes for the eyes. Okay,
Is that what they do?
Yeah.
How did you protect your eyes in your many, many attacks by this 3-ounce bird?
Awesome hand-eye coordination.
Your
They constantly
ninja-like
move in
reflexes.
front of my eyes. They
You have
can
to-
get to them.
Do you have to zig when you run away from them too?
I was serpentine pattern. Okay. I was serpentine pattern. And then I tricked them because I ran around her house.
She
So
got
they
got
so that way
confused.
I could run back to the front door. And they were like, where's he going? Why is he running a serpentine pattern? He's moving his hands in front of his eyes. We can't get his eyes. And I escaped my life.
Now, I assume the end of that story is that they murdered your grandmother in revenge.
Luckily, luckily, a rainstorm happened. And it kind of blew their nest over. And then when they weren't looking,
Eli, did you
Took their
destroy their
nest with it.
nest? Let's be
no, I
honest.
took it across the road and put it in the neighbor's yard.
So you did destroy their nest.
No, it
I
was.
see where the
I
real
didn't-
side of the story. We've been
didn't-
talking to the
listen.
Nazi storyteller
No,
this whole
listen.
time.
I did not break the eggs. I literally picked up the nest.
Yeah, but
They're
you,
And
about
I-
destroying the
yeah,
nest.
you fucked their.
No, their nests are tight,
No,
and I put it. But no, it is. They're like real tight and small.
Yes,
And
as a 5-year-old boy, I'm sure you were very cognizant of what you were doing.
well, I didn't want them to attack me because I broke their eggs. And
But
then
you broke their eggs.
Then I didn't break their eggs. I gently placed them behind the house of the old lady that lived across the street from her.
I think we see who the real monster here is.
I did not break those eggs. I just stuck them in the bush behind the old lady's house that lived across the street from my grandma.
Yeah, I can't imagine why the birds were pissed off.
All I wanted to do was get a can of paint, Dave. Okay. They started it. I rehomed them and I was like, oh, I'm sure they'll love living with this 80-year-old lady. And then if not, she dies. She's lived for 80 years. I'm young. I have my
That's a
full life
lot
ahead
of
of me.
logic and reason for a 5-year-old boy
Thank you.
who's scared to death at the moment.
You don't know how
Killer
dangerous these birds
bird.
are. You don't know how dangerous these birds are. Okay. That's all I'm saying. They're more dangerous than our next monster.
Oh my God, we're still going.
We have 2 more.
Oh Jesus
Wow,
Christ!
sorry.
First one is the reptoid.
The reptoid.
It's half reptile, half man looking thing that runs around the desert. It's 6 feet tall, very skinny, looks like a giant sharp-toothed lizard, but stands upright like human. They kind of shaped like human. And it's been described as different colors. Its eyes, it blinks like a lizard. Its head's been described differently. But in all the stories, there's one description that everybody says is that when it walks, it has an awkward gait like a monkey. So
Rude.
it's a lizard person
Monkey.
that walks like a monkey.
Well, aren't people and monkeys?
And apparently it chases people. It kind of looks like a killer chameleon person. It chases people, and it's attacked people. Most recently in 2013, a lady claimed to be attacked by one, and she ran away, escaped their life. There's one other thing I kept finding about the reptoids that they do that I thought was interesting. They're the only creature on this list tonight that uses a weapon.
Oh, yeah?
Ooh.
Yeah. Apparently, many people claim that they carry around branches covered in thorns to try to hit people with.
It's like Krampus.
Kind of.
It's not even a cool wand like the frog had.
No,
Yeah.
it's
Just a stick.
covered in thorns.
Sorry.
And it, like I said, 2013 attacked this lady. She ran to 2 other people, and they saw it. They claimed, and they chased them till they were able to get away. I find this interesting that you have reptoids in the desert and lizard people in Washington D.C. So you do with that information what you will. So how does
Don't like it.
it's a
Nah.
big lizard man that waves
Yeah.
a thorny branch at people.
Yeah, last time we had a frog man, right? Wait,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I'll take the
I
frog
think I
man.
had a magic wand that he didn't use, so like he was lame.
No, not him.
You had a
In the
spark
swamp. In the swamps, I meant. And we have a frog.
Oh, you're talking about the
The
Kappas?
one, isn't he the one? No, not the Kappas with turtles. Didn't the frog one look up my skirt? Which one looked up my? Which one was?
That was the
what are
Kappas.
No, that's a turtle. Oh, that one looked up my skirt. There was another one though.
They were all weird.
Yeah.
So you're not scared of a giant lizard person chasing you with a thorny stick?
No, I'm not.
Let's not get all indignant there, Mr. Killdeer.
Listen,
Yeah.
those birds are dangerous, okay? You know what? You're right, Dave. They're probably carrying a thorny stick to protect themselves from killdeer.
Or maybe the branch is covered in killdeer. Maybe that's
Oh my
where
God,
they
that-
land.
I'm telling you what, that if you're playing D&D, that's a power weapon right there. The killdeer sword, and it's just a sword covered in killdeer. Oh.
Just give up then, right?
So you're not afraid of the lizard person that walks like a monkey and attacks you with a thorny stick?
No.
He's doing too much.
People.
You
He's lame.
screamed and nobody heard what you just said.
He literally is just trying to eat people and hit you with a thorny stick.
He's
How's he
lame.
doing too much?
I
He
don't
looks like a giant lizard and walks like a monkey.
Yep.
Wow. You know what? I hope you two never go to the desert because something's gonna get you. You have no fear. So are we ranking the Reptoid low? Then I take it, huh?
Yes.
I mean, you've given us an ass wang. What is the
Yeah.
Reptoid
I mean,
bringing to the party?
A thorny stick.
Exactly.
exactly. Yeah.
It's the only one on the list that uses a weapon.
Doesn't matter when its weapon is lame. Who cares?
Yeah.
Have you ever got hit with a thorn?
Oh, did you see the rake's nails? I mean, come on. I rather like it's that alone is
Have you ever been berry picking?
berry picking.
Yeah, like
apple
raspberry picking. Well,
No.
apple trees don't have thorns. Have you ever been raspberry
say.
picking, Dave?
Yes.
You know what it's like?
Blackberries is
Yeah, you know what it's
absolutely-
like to get hit with a thorn.
You have a real problem with being poked, don't you?
I don't like it. Okay, I don't like it.
That's what she said.
But how dare you? But tell Jamie how it's not good to get hit with thorns.
No, I'm sure it's not good to get hit with thorns.
Now imagine a
I don't
lizard
think I need to
person
convince her of
with
that.
a stick covering him, swinging it with all his monkey walking like might, and hit you with it.
No.
Wow. Okay. Well, hey, hopefully this last one puts a little fear in your eyes.
Okay.
This is probably one of the most famous desert monster cryptids, and that'd be the chupacabra,
Oh,
the,
wow.
demon.
You really
dome.
buried the lead there, bro.
You.
But save the best for last. You know, chupacabra. Depending who you look, some describe it as a hairless, like dog with razor sharp teeth. That's very emaciated. It has glowing red eyes. Some also describe it like a dog, but only it's got like a tubular tongue with like a pointed edge. They suck the blood from goats, mainly is what they eat. Goats. They suck the blood from goats. Many people have claimed that they've been attacked by them. And apparently Tucson, Arizona, like normally, like they were seen a lot in Mexico and like Texas, but Arizona has also been claiming to see them. It was last night a couple years ago, a guy saw it run across the road.
Yeah, this is, I think, as far as cryptids are concerned, this one has the most compelling photo evidence until you realize that what all of these people have photographed are mangy coyotes.
That's true.
Oh, are they? I never
Yeah,
like
that's true.
actually even
I
looked
mean, they're
up
so
the...
pitiful looking, but they do look like monsters.
Yeah.
They're just mange or
Aw.
mange infected coyotes.
This is also the only cryptid that a gentleman claimed to have found a corpse of one that had been sitting out, that scientists says it's more than likely a coyote, but they can't because of the environment stuff, they can't rule out that
That's a scientist with whimsy. That's what that is. For all of you normal people, here's what it is. But just to mess with you funky folks, I can't rule out that it's a interdimensional blood-sucking goat
And
killer.
if you also want some other evidence that it might exist, is there's a town in Texas every year that has the Chupacabra chili cook-off, and one of the required ingredients is Chupacabra. So You can't enter in unless there is some chupacabra in your
Wait,
chili.
you've got to put mangy coyote in your chili to put it in the contest?
Chupacabra.
Exactly.
They say. Okay.
I'm going to hard pass on this whole chili contest.
It's chupacabra.
The last Halloween Horror Nights I went to had a chupacabra house.
Was it a dog sucking on some goats?
Well, it was
wording. I guess I should have worded that.
Quite a sentence you've just thrown out there.
Yes.
It was very similar to the American Werewolf in London house they did because
so they made it a werewolf.
They built they built an animatronic is what I meant, and they just shoved it through boo holes. It was fun. I like those. Those are fun because it's there's obviously there's also people in it, but they build they did the same thing for American Werewolf in London where they built the big wolf, and then they would just stick it through. So they built a chupacabra and they would just stick it through. You'd be walking and it'd come jumping out of the wall or
a jump scare.
Yeah,
I will say another way to tie it to the movie we watched is a lot of the drawings when it has a tubular tongue does look like the Monsters and Feast wiener. So
I was going to say they didn't have tongues.
I said another way to tie this to Feast is a lot of the drawings I saw of the tubular tongue chupacabra that jams its tongue into people and sucks blood that way. It did look like the wiener of the Monster and Feast.
Okay.
Because that wiener is tubular and
looks monstrous.
Yes. Does look monstrous, yeah.
I feel like people are like, how do I draw this tubular tongue that looks like it's made to suck blood? And they're like, I don't know. I'm going to watch Feast while I think about it. And they're like, oh, there we go. And then they're like, man, I'm hungry for some chili.
Gross.
Hey, so that's all of them. So out of these desert ones, which one are you saying is the scariest?
Asswang.
Asswang?
Yeah.
Wow. It's not the one I thought you'd go for.
Killdeer all the way.
I'm telling you, man, they're vicious. Okay.
I know. I'm making all these jokes tonight. They're going to be out for me.
I'm just saying,
more than 3 times.
God forbid, Dave, they ever find your porch and decide to put a nest.
Dave, when you hear the faintest little tick tick at your window,
no, they make a weird noise.
It's the little beak pecking on your.
Just saying.
Trying to break through very slowly. It's going to take them a year to get through the.
When they take claim to your outside of your house and you can't leave, you'll be calling me some fear in your heart.
Why can't you leave?
Because they'll attack you.
No, they don't.
They do.
Ounces
of pure hellfire hatred.
3.5 inches
death.
tall.
3.5 inches of death. Dave. Of death.
Their greatest defense mechanism is to act injured.
That's against animals.
The same exact, and I get it now, the same exact defense that Eli has described for himself many, many times.
No, my defense,
pooping
shit
on
myself.
Everything. Exactly.
Which honestly, I don't think that'll work against Killdeer. Everyone knows birds can't smell.
Everyone knows.
And it's got so much hatred in its little eyes.
It will not be deterred.
It will not be deterred. At all.
Literally. Did you see what I did there?
I think you did there. And I liked it, so I went with it. It's aimed for your eyes, your throat. Don't take very much puncture to your throat to kill you. Everybody knows that.
Something poked you and it really left an impression on you.
All I'm saying is, I've been scared.
Was it that snake that bit you in the well house?
I've been scared. No, that even scared me. I've been scared 5 times in my life. 3 of them involve Killdeer.
Oh my
Holy
God.
Crap.
3 of them involve Killdeer. Okay. That's all I'm saying. And you know me, nothing scares me.
Yeah, you were the most fearless man I knew until today.
Listen, if I finally admitted to being afraid of something, then you should take it serious. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough.
That's all I'm saying. Hey, that's all I got. David,
thank you.
Why don't you tell fine folks about the Wicked Wild?
Well, thank you for listening. We do ask you to give us a rating and a review wherever you listen to your podcast. We'd love comments on this one, especially if you're in the holy crap, Killdeer are the scariest things on the planet camp. We'd love to hear from you. Kind of find out about your history. Let's put together sort of a profile of who we're dealing with here. Might shed some light onto our own friend Eli.
Yeah.
So send us those comments. You can send me an email if you want a more extended, tell a bigger story. You can send me an email at podcast, podcast, at thewickedwild.com. I'll choose how much of that information you provide to me with Eli, and we'll see if we can put together a nice therapy for our buddy to get past this fear that he has. If you want to follow us on social media, you can do that on X or Twitter at Wicked Wild We Are, on Instagram at Wicked Wild Pod, and on Slasher, the whole horror only community, at Wicked Wild We Are. And if you want to see the videos and our looks of great indignation this evening as we learned about this new fear that's been unlocked, you can do that on YouTube, the Wicked Wild Podcast. Just search us up. And of course, last but not least, Eli, you know where the best place to keep your spices.
Where that?
Arrakis.
Oh
Arrakis.
my God. The worst.
Your
Hey,
spice in Iraq.
real quick, finish up. I feel, especially after tonight, I have opened the door and every once in a while I share some information with you guys, right? Golden crow, corn cob, bird feeder, killdeer. You're welcome.
Not the kill deer.
I mean, of all what
That's
of
why
all,
you threw your bird feeder out the bus when
I
you
wasn't
were horrified.
I wasn't attracted
He
to
just
kill
didn't
deer.
want to attract
I
anymore.
wasn't attracted to killdeer. I don't know if you guys know, it's like there's dots being laid out. It's up to you guys to connect the dots to unravel the mystery
I don't think they connect.
of Eli.
But that's just
It's a real bird thing going on for sure. And he's got crows on his skin. He's got a whole bird world he's created for himself,
Just
which is
saying.
why he wants to live underground. It's all coming together.
Just saying. I've just every once in a while I just cherry drop a little knowledge on you, and what you do with that's up to you. So far, neither one of you've seen that golden crow. That's disappointing. Dave finally
Not
did
for
make.
us.
Well, you say that till you eat it. Dave finally made a corncob bird feeder. Still
Hit it with a
waiting
baseball bat.
I'm still waiting for the aliens to land so Jamie can make us a delicious dessert. And now you know about the fear of the killdeer. So, on that note, everyone, thanks for listening. And remember, when you stare into the abyss, killdeer stares back. Bye.